you gotta be on some level just like curious as to like the next step. Like if somebody around you is having a conversation about moving to the next level, and they like, yo, I'm serious about my growth, I'm serious about making a change for myself, I'm serious about going to the next level, taking care of my family, not having to depend on corporate America, not having to ask another man for time off. Like, I'm serious about this. Like, I would think that if you knew somebody like that, like, you would just be like, all right, yo, for real, I don't know what you're trying to do, but I need to roll with you.
What are you doing today that makes you better than the person you were yesterday? That is part of the Ascension brand. That is the motto, the heart of what we stand for. When I pass away, I want people to know. I want people to remember me, not for the time that I've spent on this planet, but for the things that I have done to contribute to society.
What's going on, folks? Welcome back to the Dirty Trump Podcast, where the elephant is always welcome. I am your boy AJ McMullen, and here with me, lovely, the gorgeous Miss Alyssa
Macram.
And this is our dog, right here. If you guys can see, Alyssa hasn't actually been on the podcast in a minute, and I know I've been talking about it, but like, here is the social proof. If you needed it before, here is Baby Macram.
Baby Macram. Hi, baby. Oh, she kicked.
Did she?
Yeah.
When was the last time you was actually on the podcast, though?
This particular podcast, it's been a while. We've been on other ones with the Aether podcast.
Oh, yeah.
All the other ones, but this one, it's been a while.
Yeah, I think we did the last...
Well, since we stopped doing studio episodes, it's not like I can necessarily be in the office with you when you're doing one.
Yeah. Well,
so it's been since we've done a studio episode.
We haven't done an Aether podcast since last year. Man, it's crazy because I looked at the I just logged into the website to look at the last thing that I did, and I actually haven't really been doing anything with it. And the last thing that I really did was the little update and the thank you for the holidays last year, and I was like, yo,
oh damn. It really has been a year.
I felt so bad. I was okay. And we hadn't done, like, before then, we hadn't done an Aether podcast since like October, I think.
I guess we were prepping for the wedding and all those other things.
Yeah.
Life got in the way. Holiday drama last year.
Well, I don't know if I really saw that getting in the way. Honestly, like I
did.
It didn't seem like it got in the way. I don't know, like it kind of felt like
it took more of a front burner than the podcasts, I guess. It kind
of felt like we went through it more effectively than we've ever gone through it.
True.
Like that's the way I look at it, and I was grateful that we were able to skip out on it the way we did, because we were just like, we saw it, we talked about it before it happened, then it happened, and it was like, it was inconvenient, but it was like, all right, whatever, let's move on. You know. So as you guys can see, we're in here with we got our
Christmas spirit,
Christmas decorations and stuff going on right now. It's not Christmas time right now. We're doing this episode because it's New Year, and well, this is the New Year episode, but right now at the moment it's still Christmas time. Right now it's December 21st, so by the time you guys see this, we'll already be in January. It'll be January I think the 2nd is the next time that the first Tuesday of the year.
Doesn't matter.
I don't really. Yeah, it doesn't really matter. But yeah, by the time this episode airs, it'll be after New Year. So
we'll still have our Christmas decorations up.
We'll definitely still have our Christmas decorations up. Like a little fun fact about us, that we didn't take our Christmas decoration down in 2022 until like I think it was May,
June.
Like we got married.
One of those two.
We got married in April. We got married on April 8th, and I think a few days beforehand was when I took the Christmas decoration down. Like literally, no joke. Like I was preparing for the wedding and taking down Christmas decorations at the same time. So, and the rest of it got taken down by force. Like we left the Christmas tree up, and I think the Christmas tree was really the only thing that we needed to take down. All the lights and stuff outside, we was like, we're just gonna leave them up. That ain't necessarily work out.
You don't need to have them lit.
Yeah, it didn't really work out the way we wanted it to. We did keep lighting them until like mid-February though.
Yeah.
So like we were trying to keep the Christmas spirit alive. Right now, I'm even wearing this to keep the Christmas spirit alive. So, yeah, man. What you want to ask me? So I could tell the people why I'm wearing the thing.
Why are you wearing a Santa suit, Aaron?
Oh, right. Yeah. I'm wearing the Santa suit because I am now doing, and I want to make this a tradition, but it might be a little tough, a little challenging because I don't know what the next year holds.
Stop.
We don't know what our day to day is going to look like on December 21st of 2024. So like I can't necessarily make any obligations right now, but right now I want to do a yearly Santa ride where I get on my motorcycle and I ride the city to try to bring some cheer out of people. I did it for the first time last night. I'm going to do it again this morning. And last night, man, I just got so many people's attention and just woke so many people up. Like it was, and I was telling Alyssa this last night, but like we get so in a rut with everything that we do these days, man. Like everything that we wake up, we go to work. We on this hamster wheel just trying to get things done and not really enjoying life or not really living the way we supposed to live. And last night, man, like I'm just in traffic and I can see people like their spirits just waking up. Like they see me like people, like it was one dude and I told him, listen, like he, and I ain't really elaborate on it like that because I was in a rush to hurry up and end our night so we can go ahead and you can start our ritual for bedtime or whatever. But the guy, like I can hear his music. He in there bumping and he's just mean mugging, like his hand wrapped around the steering wheel. And his lips was moving, like I could tell that he had something on his mind. And just that little situation where like maybe you had a bad day at work or something, and you stewing out in the car, like you're just trying to seethe it out before you get back home. You don't want to take it to your bed, so like it kind of look like one of those type of situations. But like I'll tell you, my man was listening to some hardcore gangster rap. I don't know what he was listening to, but like if that joint was censored, it would have been an instrumental. Like I don't know, I don't know what it was he was listening to, but he was in the zone, and he just saw me, and we made eye contact, and like I could just see my man light up, man. Like I could just see him, just like all of the guard that he had up. All of the walls and fences that he had built around his soul and his spirit in that moment just fell off. I could just tell the weight was lifted off his shoulders. And I seen it multiple times last night. And yeah, with kids, like it was so like I had some, and I kind of caught it on camera. But I was at Sheets getting gas and this dude rolled past. He was like, "Hey man, you pulling up or you taking off?" I was like, "Yeah, I'm pulling up." He was like, "All right, bet. I'm gonna ride past you. And I got my kids in the truck, so I'm gonna drive by and let them see you." And he drove past, and man, those kids, they lit up so much. Oh man, it was so heartwarming. I think, despite how cold it was like 30-something degrees last night. I think, with the whole scenario of what I was doing, mixed in with that, it might have just been adrenaline keeping me warm last night. So
maybe,
yeah, I'm gonna do that again today. we going out of town, so I ain't gonna have too many opportunities to do it before Christmas though. So it is what it is.
We can continue it in the new year. We still have a few weeks until she's here.
I mean, yeah, fair. But I want to keep it going, and in hopes of bringing more life back to this area, because like if we got to be here, the least we can do is make life joyful for other people, man, and kind of bring some life back into folks. And Alyssa gets to do it on her day to day by like helping a lot of people at work and stuff like that. And you know, me just being the author, staying behind my computer all the time and working in my little department, I don't necessarily get to have that impact on people other than the podcast. So I just wanted to go out and do a public service for people. So that's why I'm wearing this today. And yeah,
it brightens all of our days live.
Yeah, like my neighbors, they were outside cheering me on. People were taking pictures and stuff. Like, all right.
You're a neighborhood celebrity.
I'm that guy. Considering that the motorcycle covering lights right now, yeah, I'm that guy. But,
I love it.
Ah, man,
it's my favorite thing.
All right, so here we are, coming up on New Year's right now. New Year's is past for y'all, so we about to have the conversation about the year end, the resolutions, and what to expect, and what we learned from our past year and all that. It was an effort to make sure that we had an episode on the books for New Year. However, I do believe that it is a worthwhile conversation to have, and if you're not having these conversations with the people in your circle, you probably need to change your circle. Find a new circle, like for real. Like if y'all not holding each other accountable to your goals and your standards, and you just settling for whatever comes to you, like for real, you need to change your circle. I would like to let you guys in on a conversation that Alyssa and I would have on our own, like whenever we put down our devices and turn off our TVs or whatever. Like this is literally the conversation that we have. And you know, it seems, I know, like you see a couple on camera and everybody's just like, you know, they just showing off for the cameras, like, oh, Alyssa and I really do have these conversations, so
all the time.
So I wanted to get it on camera. And obviously, we're not gonna get too deep and too intimate into it, but you know, what we can talk about for the public, we'll have that conversation right here. So, Alyssa, I'm gonna just ask this while Chloe's showing off. How did you feel about this year?
This year was a big year for learning that I have limitations and I need to figure out the best ways to balance like what I expect from myself and what I expect from others, and what I think that so many times, like living in our household, we're so much of dreamers and we want to be always doing something and this, that, and the other, and it just
was only one of us for a long time though.
What do you mean?
The dreamer aspect.
Yeah. I mean, I still had like work-related goals and things of that nature, but I think that a good majority of what I learned this year is that my priorities have shifted. And it's no longer about just like, okay, let's just figure out the fastest way to climb up a corporate ladder to see how I can afford this or do this or have power here or have influence here. It's more like, okay, you're human. You broke your arm. You're having a baby. Like your body's not working like it should.
I was just about to ask about those specific limitations too.
Like, I am now at a stage in my life where, like, my priorities are completely different than they were, like, even 1 year versus 10 years versus 5 years ago. And just knowing, like, I can have so much bigger of an impact on our family and the future circle that we build by learning to prioritize the things that are actually going to be around for me rather than people or places or things that just don't really matter in the end. Like, a job, like if you think about it, many people don't work the same job like they did 10, 20 years ago, where they just stay with the same exact company for years and years on end and are shown appreciation and all that. Like, my job now, our job now, like, all things considered, like, they could do okay, but at the end of the day, you can tell that they don't care.
Yeah.
We're just a number.
Yeah.
And so it's just knowing that I need to prioritize myself a lot. And so many times I put myself on the back burner or put our family on the back burner to try and make lives easier for other people. And that shouldn't be the case. And yeah.
So when you say limitations, explain to the people what happened to you this year, like some of the challenges that you faced over this year. Because I kind of went over it in brief detail and like some previous episodes, but break that down. Like what did you go through this year?
You're talking about my elbow?
All of it. Whatever you got.
Well, the main things that come to mind are, well, A, the pregnancy. Obviously, I'm not able to do a whole lot of things right now. I can't lift a whole bunch. I can't run all over the world and not hardly break a sweat anymore. I can't do anything. I take 3 steps up and I'm already out of breath. As soon as she hit 5 months in gestation, I had my first test in maternal instincts and ended up falling forward as I twisted my ankle, and ended up trying to put as much distance as I could between her and the pavement. Shattered my right elbow. Gave you a quick lesson in how to take care of girls' hair and things. Like, nothing has given me more confirmation than this year of how perfect we are for each other, because you full out stepped up to take on everything else that I couldn't. Like, I literally could not bend my arm. I couldn't straighten it. I couldn't lift anything. I could hardly lift it like 2 inches off of my body. Aaron had to give me baths and showers and literally take care of everything, and I was pretty much just a limp noodle in bed, and I couldn't do shit. I struggled. See, this is why I didn't want to go into details.
Well, you don't have to go into that one if you don't want to.
Well, that's okay. Struggled mentally with just the what ifs of what would have happened if something happened to her, or what if I didn't have him, or what if all these other things of
Take your time.
I don't like being this.
Take your time.
Just knowing that I have limitations was really hard for me to accept.
Yeah.
And knowing when to draw the line of, okay, you can't do this. Admitting that I can't do anything, ironically, is one of the hardest things that I've had to learn. Considering I used to tell myself I can't all the time.
Yeah.
Which
all
is
the time.
really the ironic thing. Because now I cry at the idea of not being able to do something.
Yeah. I got.
So yeah, I mean, all in all, like, I am getting better and everything, and she's just fine. She's doing a few weeks.
Yeah.
And just knowing, like, the amount of growth and things like that I've just learned to sort of prioritize my own health and the health of ones that I'm taking care of. Just knowing that we are truly a team, and just having the ability to pick up where the other left off or help where we can. Like, I think that it's one of those relationships, like, you know how they always say, like, a relationship should be 50-50? At the end of the day, it's not always going to be 50-50.
Yeah,
sometimes
exactly.
I'm going to only be able to offer 5, and you got to pick up 95.
Yeah.
Or, like, you take 15 and I take the other. Relationships in general just need to have good communication and know where you can help and assist and pick up where others need to leave off. And just knowing that it's okay to admit that you can't do something, and just admit that you need help, and just admit that sometimes you don't know how to do something or whatever the case might be, and just knowing that you're always there to support each other wherever you can.
Yeah, that's big. And I want some people who in relationships to get what Alyssa just said, like that 50-50 thing, like, and you guys know, like I talked about it just recently when we talked about the Yada Awakening. My man said that a relationship ain't 50-50. Like you should not go into your relationship thinking that anything is going to be 50-50. And as a man, he said that you shouldn't go into it with that mentality. Like, to my men out there, because like I know some of y'all, and I talk to some of y'all, like y'all level of patience for your family is bare minimum. Yeah. Like you just the slightest inconvenience happens to you and you just fold under pressure. And I get it, like for real, like I understand. Like as a man, you expect it to bring home the bacon for real. Like and things ain't necessarily going your way. Like I just challenge you guys. Like I'm talking to the men out there. I'm just challenging you guys to like stand by your woman and do everything possible to make sure that she is okay, to make sure that she has everything that she needs, and make sure that she's good, like mentally, physically, mentally, like spiritually, like just make sure that she's good. Like and
not only just the men too, like it should be.
Well, I'm talking to men, so you can talk to women now. Go ahead.
Well, I mean, just like in a way of there's so many people that feel like money is everything in a relationship, or like you said, like men got to bring home the bacon. There's plenty of people that have that mentality that work their entire lives and never see their kids.
So that's true. Yeah, but the point that I was getting at is I just want to make sure to like make it abundantly clear to you guys that like, yo, for real, when your spouse, your significant other, when she down and out, you got to step up.
Yeah.
Like for real, there's people out here who when their spouses get sick, they're like, oh, you can't work no more. And we can't afford this lifestyle. That's a problem. Mm-hmm. Like there are people who literally get into arguments because one person can't work no more.
Right.
That's ridiculous. Now I'm honored to hear you speak highly of that situation like that, because I thought I was failing you. Like I was like, yo, I could be doing better. Now I ain't gonna lie to y'all. Like her even falling down. And in the sense that she did, I blame that on myself. Like real talk. Like there was so many different things that I could have did to intervene in that situation. She tripped over a rock, y'all. I want y'all to understand this. I want y'all to get this right. She tripped over a rock that probably 2 minutes before she tripped up on, I saw the rock. Had the idea to move it. Didn't move it. Well, I just want y'all to catch like how deep the universe is, like how crazy the world works, like things that like I mentally saw somebody tripping over this rock, and that's what made me move. That's what made me want to move it, and I got distracted. And then, not even 5 minutes later, I'm tending to my pregnant wife who's crying because she thinks that she just fell on the baby. Like for real, like man, take responsibility, y'all. Like that's the thing that I want. I hope you guys caught from that. Like it was nothing for me to have already been bearing the responsibility of this family to jump in and help her. Like the audacity of me to not help is the way I look at it. Like I married her like not even a year ago. Like I said in sickness and in health, and the audacity. Like it just don't make sense to not hold up your end of the bargain, man. That's what I hope that somebody's catching out. Men and women, man. Like I hope somebody is catching this. Like it's not going to always be a 50-50 thing. Like it's hardly ever 50-50.
Right.
Like it hasn't been 50-50 since we got married.
No.
Shit.
It's always some form of one of us taking care of each other. I'm
down mentally, spiritually. You got to step in and. slap me back into shape. You down physically. I gotta pick up the slack around the house, and I'm gonna be real with y'all. I could do a lot better at picking up the slack around the house. We need a housekeeper, y'all. I ain't gonna lie to you. Like I ain't bought all this, picking up and choking yourself out with Ajax and stuff, trying to clean a bathtub. Like I ain't feeling that, man.
Ajax.
I'm not, Ajax a comment. I don't know what your Coke or Pepsi. I will pick your poison. So I don't.
Definitely use comment.
I mean, Ajax make the same product. I don't know what it is, but it's the same powder. I'm just saying, it's probably made by the same company. Pick your poison, Coke or Pepsi. I'm just saying. But regardless, I ain't feeling it. But I can do a lot better at the daily mundane things. Like I leave the dishes in the sink a little too long.
We all know that was typically my thing to do cleaning and things. But
typically your thing and your thing now is completely different things, so it is what it is. But yeah, I hope somebody caught the message on that one, because that was real deep. Whew. What were
your lessons?
My lessons, man, pretty much the same. Like, yo, you're not human. I mean, you're only human.
I was like,
you're not a super. You're not. No matter how many affirmations you say, you're always just going to be a man. Yeah, that was my overall realization. My biggest thing was, of course, me being man enough. Mm-hmm. I genuinely don't believe that I'm doing everything that I can do as a man, and I'm going to consistently work on that. I don't care how many times everybody tell me that I need to chill out or relax, or it ain't that deep. It is that deep. For me, it's that deep. Like, I got a kid on the way. I have a wife to take care of. Like, like I said before, I ain't trying to take no shine away from you. I want you to be completely whole within yourself. I just don't believe that you need corporate America to do it. And I do believe that because I haven't been doing everything that I'm supposed to do in my life, that it led us up to where we are now.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like if I had done the things that I said I was going to do, if I had been consistent at the things that I said I was going to do, then we wouldn't be in the scenario that we are right now. We wouldn't have the conversations that we have about money the way we do right now. I wouldn't have to watch you struggle mentally when it comes to your job, because especially recently with the whole situation of the gender bias thing that happened to you. Like, I ain't really feeling that. Like, and this year taught me, like, after hearing that message from Yada, this year taught me that this isn't about anybody else but you. Like, no matter how many people you throw into this mix of trying to get your legacy off the ground, how much you try to grow, like, this ain't got nothing to do with nobody but you, bro. Like, this ain't, like, you can't blame this on nobody. When your child is born, you can't blame your lack of success on nobody. The things that you have to give down to your child, like you said one time before, that you were going to be rich before your child is born.
Yeah.
And here you are living in the same scenarios that you were in when you were 22. Like,
we're slightly better.
Slightly better mindset. The paychecks haven't changed. And I'm grateful for where I am today. I'm grateful for the things that I've been able to do thus far. But this year has taught me that, how do I put this? This year has taught me that being grateful for where you are is going to be a little bit more challenging for you than it is for most people.
Yeah.
And because it's going to be challenging doesn't give you the right to not be grateful. And that was something that I needed to learn, because, like, you'll never get any further than you are without gratitude. Like, I don't care who you are. Like, I tried it myself. Like, I definitely did. Like, I tried to do that whole lone wolf thing, thinking that you ain't need to be grateful. Like, of course, I don't want to get into the biblical principle, but Steve Harvey said that imagine if you were God and somebody asked you for something and you grant them that, and they get to complaining about what you gave them because they want more. He said, why would God give you more when you can't be grateful for what you have now? Now, I'm not trying to get biblical about it, but I just want y'all to understand that with every biblical principle, there's a mindset and a mentality shift that comes with all of it. I don't know how it works, but when you're not grateful for something, like I can't scientifically explain it, but when you're not grateful for the things you have, you operate different.
Yeah.
Like when you can't be satisfied, or I ain't gonna say satisfied because grateful never satisfied is what I strive for. But when you're not grateful for where you are in life, you aren't as motivated to move forward to find something else, because you spend so much energy complaining and regretting and resenting everything that you are now, everything that you have now,
and further getting more of that stuff that you hate to come towards you. Right.
Like I said, there's a biblical principle on it. I can't scientifically explain it. Can you scientifically explain it?
No.
I mean, that's the best scientific explanation that we can get.
There's nothing scientific.
I don't know. I feel like that's more logical than anything else. Like,
it's just like the law of
it's
manifestation.
A law of attraction. It's a law of attraction, law of manifestation, law of attraction. No matter what you want to call it, like it's the same thing. Like if you continuously
focus on the things that you hate, you'll bring more of that to you.
Right. Like I don't know what else to. There's no other way to explain it. That's what I ended up learning. That was my big lesson this year, and the lesson of consistency.
Yeah.
And now that I say that out loud, I can't think of a day that has passed this year. There ain't many of them that I didn't wake up before 5:00 a.m. to get to work and challenge myself to make something happen. So I plan on taking that into the next year, and continuously doing what I need to do. Like somebody asked me, it was like, "You ready for the lack of sleep that come with having a new baby?" And I looked at them. I was like, "I've been practicing for the last 10 years. I hope so." They're like, "What you mean?" I was like, "I'm up every morning at 4:00. I don't know how much that baby can do now to destroy me more than I destroyed myself." They didn't know how to take it.
I bet.
They were so confused.
I bet. You don't necessarily hear a whole lot of people actually waking up before alarms and things like that. Like, you can intentionally have the, like, full out plan to sleep in, and you still wake up at 3:30.
Say that again. I think I've said that before on the podcast, and I think people really do. They really don't understand that that's a real thing.
No matter how many times you have a late night staying up, or just couldn't sleep and continued to work or whatever, you might not come back into bed until 1, 2, maybe even like later. He'll still, no matter what happens, like we turn off all alarms, I turn off mine, have no reason to wake up, he will always be up no later than 4:02.
There's been a few times where I woke up at like 5, but that's
usually if I cuddle you back to sleep, but you're usually up.
But the times that I woke up at 5 was because I didn't come back to bed until about 2:00.
Yeah.
And that was after going to sleep for 2 hours and waking back up and going to the computer to write.
Yeah.
So, with people who ask, how do you finish NaNoWriMo so fast? how do you do things, the way you do it? Granted, I probably need to be a little more focused and zoned in on one particular thing to
rather than the 72 different projects.
Yeah. I mean, I did just get the book cover done for the rewrite. I haven't gotten the rewrite done yet, but
that's because it's going to be like 3 times as long as the original book.
It is, and I'm excited about that. I can only say I'm excited about that. It's like it gives people more to read for the first go around. So. But that only means that book 2 is going to be even longer than it is now.
You're looking to embrace Stephen King here.
Yeah. I'm hoping, because I don't believe that Stephen King is better than me, but
no, I mean like the length of his books. He's known to have long books.
I know exactly what you mean. I say what I said.
It's a whole different genre. You can exist together.
I bet
it doesn't have to be one or the other.
Fair.
I'm still gonna read both books, so you can.
No, I'm still gonna read Stephen King too. Like he's phenomenal, man. Actually, one of my idols. I aspire to be like him, because his drive, his persistence, the way he writes is on a whole new level, man. Like he's definitely one of the greats, man. Like him, James Patterson, Terry Brooks, guys like that. J.K. Rowling, I can't forget about her. I'll even throw Stephanie Meyer in there. What's the girl name that wrote Vampire Diaries? Was it Julie Plec that wrote Vampire Diaries?
She directed the show.
Yeah, she didn't write it.
Or produced the show.
I can't remember the woman's name that wrote Vampire Diaries, but George R. Martin, can't forget about him too.
There's a bunch of different great authors.
Yeah. I also just recently started listening to Brandon Sanderson. I don't know if you ever heard of him.
I feel like I've heard of him, but then again, it's one of those general names.
Yeah, he's a sci-fi author, so we completely digress from the
tangent.
Yeah, it happens. Man,
I think another big one for us that I particularly did not expect to learn this year was to trust people's actions rather than their words. There were so many. There were so many instances where. How do I go about saying this? There's a lot of people that
get it out the water.
There's a lot of people, and I'm not going to name names. I refuse. There was a lot of people that, regardless of what we were going through, whether it be situations of like happy moments, like celebrating our wedding or celebrating the baby or the baby shower or gender reveal, or like more times that we were down when things just weren't looking right, like we had our water heater go out and we were not necessarily doing that great.
I ain't trying to talk about that one. That's a
there were other instances, but like even sharing happy moments or just life in general, like I would think that we do very good with being there when people need something or whatever we can give. Like even if it's just being there, it's not that difficult. On multiple occasions this year, we had a lot of people that to our face, they were like, oh yeah, I'm so excited for you, let's go, I have it in my calendar, I have this, that, and the other, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that. Oh, I can't wait for this, I can't wait for that. Come the day of, radio silence. Come following weeks, check on them, hey, are you doing okay, we didn't see you. Oh yeah, I forgot. Oh yeah, I had this. Oh yeah, I had that.
Yeah.
It
leaves a bad taste in your mouth.
It does, and there's so many times that I'm willing to give people second, third, fourth opportunities.
You get on chance number 6. I don't really know how to. First of all, I'm going to say I don't know how to save you from Alyssa.
Like once you burn or cross me, that's it.
I'm the type of person.
I am very difficult to burn or cross.
Yeah, exactly.
But the fact that there's so many people that did this year, like I don't know if it was just like the true finding of our circle, or like figuring out who's actually going to be there or who's not. Like, it comes down to family, it comes down to friends, it comes down to coworkers. And then there'd be the surprising few people that actually come out of the woodwork and, like, you don't ever think anything of them actually, like, liking you or,
right.
God forbid, smile in front of you, or
right.
you don't usually talk to them. All of a sudden they're like, hey, I saw that you're having a baby. Hey, I want you to have this. Hey, I want you to...
My God.
Blah, blah, blah. There were so many people that came into our corner that we didn't expect.
Yeah.
But then again, so many people that we lost in our corner unexpectedly.
We also didn't expect that either.
Like, it just goes to show words are from the lips, actions are from the heart. So, and I think I stole that from a TV show.
You did. We definitely heard it last night.
I feel like I heard that last night.
We just heard it last night.
Or the next couple of nights. But just knowing, like, don't always expect that somebody that you're close with now is going to be here for you down the line. Just be realistic with the expectations of there should be equal giving, equal sacrifice in some form or fashion when it comes to friendship. It shouldn't be all one person giving, one person taking. It shouldn't be a situation of, oh, I'm always going to be here for you, but God forbid you be here for me, whatever the case might be, family or not, friends or not. Mm-hmm. I cut out a large majority of my family this year and last year just because it's so much easier not to have that toxicity around me.
Well, tell me about it.
And can you not say that this has been the most peaceful year when it comes to that?
Absolutely. We had a
like
little...
our mental health has been so good when it comes to, like, cutting out the toxicity.
Yeah.
Like, it's just been more stressful in terms of, like, coping with things that we can or cannot do. Mm-hmm. But just even the times when, like, I don't know. Because technically that's last year, but like with the car batteries and things.
Oh, yeah.
Like, just the fact that we were like, oh, well, I don't know who to call. I don't know who would actually come. Like, if you're stranded.
A real situation. Like, I was out last night, and I was on the bike, and I had some issues with my gas tank because I took it off and put it back on, and I think the lines weren't connected the way they were supposed to be, and the gas light was on. So, like, essentially, I'm driving, and the fuel isn't going to the engine the way it's supposed to, and I'm just thinking to myself, like, the one person that I can call
is me.
I was just like, I don't really have anybody else. Like, I don't really know. Like, you can't, like, pick up the phone and just be like, all right, I'm gonna dial this number, and, like, whoever picks up, like, they gonna come help me out. Like, I ain't necessarily got that situation, and it was made apparent to me, like, I got 300 something numbers saved in my phone of just, like, various different people, like.
At least.
Real talk, and she can vouch for that because she got them on her phone too now because our phones synced up. I'm not sure why that's a thing.
Of Google.
Yeah,
Google
I'm not sure why that's a thing, but it seemed kind of counterintuitive in hindsight. But I get it. Like, so she can see all the numbers that I got. It's almost like 300. It's 300 some numbers, y'all. And, like, for real, like, it ain't but so many numbers in there that I'm gonna actually call and get an answer from somebody. Like,
yeah, no.
And I'm not like talking about Facebook friends. Like, we talking about phone numbers right now. We talking about, like, you actually at some point exchange phone numbers with these people, and you can't call on not one of them to actually help you out. And I thought about it last night. Yo, the only person I have to call is her. So if she was with me right now, who the hell we gonna call?
Yeah.
And that's exactly what happened last year with the whole battery thing. And it don't seem like much has changed, but I do have more insight on who we can call, provided things like that go sideways. And, you know, even Marcus laid me out. He was like, hey man, what are you talking about? You know, you could have called me, but at the same time, he live all the way in West Timbuktu, so like,
there's only so much that you can do.
Hour and a half out, like,
and then God forbid, however long that would take, plus an hour and a half for you to drive home.
Right. But that's on top of in the process of helping us out. So like, I ain't really want to call my man, and I'm like, yo, it's unfair to him and his significant other. It's unfair to him and Courtney that he would have to come out, drive all the way down here when they're capable bodies who, and this is the part that really trips me up. There are capable bodies that live closer who will, in fact, ask me for a favor.
But never return it. Yeah.
Yeah. So when she said that we learned a little bit or two about people, we did. We definitely did.
Yeah. This year was a big year for that.
Mm-hmm. And to that point, like, I learned what it means to be when they say it's lonely at the top. And I ain't saying I
was just about to say, I think that we were kind of going with the same thing, is that I think a lot of what deters people from us, like at one point we must have been close with all of them, but at one point sorry, brief intermission.
You got it all flipped all inside out.
No, I do not.
Or is it separating? Oh, it was separating. It's just separating.
Anyway, that probably looks ridiculous.
You look fine.
I think a good majority of what deters people from us or distances people from us is the fact that we take our growth seriously. We take our relationship seriously. We take our life interest seriously. And a lot of people are intimidated by that. And at this point, I think that we're just outgrowing a lot of people. And or intimidating, and this is not to sound cocky or full of ourselves or anything like that.
I'll get to that in a second. You ain't got to apologize to it. I'll get to that in a second.
Yeah, I think the good majority of what all this has taught us, in addition to who we can trust and who we can count on and who we can't, is don't be afraid of it. Like, if they're meant to be in your life, they'll stay in your life. Mm-hmm. If they're not meant to be in your life, they won't be in your life. It's completely fine. It's an evolutionary trait. Just like they talk about with high school friends. You think that you're going to be friends with them forever. College friends, forever. Whatever. We're going to make a pact. We're going to be there for every wedding. We're going to make this thing of our kids will grow up together, this, that, and the other. Our husbands, wives are all going to be friends, and we're going to go on family trips and whatever. Like, I'm sure that we've all dreamed about that. Like, at one point, you probably are really close with a lot of people, but they fit your life in that time.
Yeah. And I think, and I'm not sure where Alyssa was when I first came to the realization. I started talking about it last year, and I kind of brought it to her attention, kind of told her how I was feeling. And she explained it to me just like that. She's like, well, we're kind of outgrowing them, and this is the situation. And I didn't want to believe it the way you were saying it. Like, I just was like, yo, if you know me, and I'm around you like this, and we're having these kind of conversations, like, I would believe that I'm thinking like, yo, you gotta be on some level just like curious as to like the next step. Like, if somebody around you is having a conversation about moving to the next level, and they're like, yo, I'm serious about my growth, I'm serious about making a change for myself, I'm serious about going to the next level, taking care of my family, not having to depend on corporate America, not having to ask another man for time off. Like, I'm serious about this. Like, I would think that if you knew somebody like that, like, you would just be like, all right, yo, for real, I don't know what you trying to do, but I need to roll with you. Mm-hmm. Like, I need to make sure that whatever you learn, we need to learn it together. Like, yo, what you reading? Like, yo, for real, like, how are you, like, if this situation happened, how would you deal with it? Because I know for a fact, like, you got some kind of sense about something. Like, yo, for real, like, I would think that if you knew somebody like that, you would do everything in your power to stick around them. Like, especially when you know you ain't got no dreams and no goals for yourself, and that person is telling you about your own dreams and goals. Exactly. And you're like, yeah, you're right. Like, there's been so many times I'm having conversations with people and they telling me something, and I'm encouraging them, I'm motivating them, I'm trying to get them pumped up, and then all of a sudden they stop talking to me like I did something wrong to them. Like, I'm just trying to figure out how that work. And when Alyssa told me, she said, and I'm gonna tell y'all something, like, I'm not about to apologize for it. I will. I'm not apologizing for nothing. I know my goals. My goal is to make sure that Amara that she doesn't come up the same way I came up. My goal is to make sure that she has something that I can leave to her instead of debt when I pass away. That's my goal. So I don't really care about none of the other stuff that, like, if you feel strongly about how I feel about my own life, like, I can care less about how you feel about that. Like, that ain't got nothing to do with me. That's on you. That's your problem. For real, like, I'm not about to apologize for that. But what I'm trying to figure out is, like, when you come around me and you talking all this crazy talk, and the only thing that you can focus on is the job, and I help you understand that there's more to life, and then you ice me out because I'm trying to help you grow. Like, I just find that to be real trifling. Like, as a person, as a human being, like, you should feel ashamed of yourself for casting out the person, one of the only people that could help you grow. Like, for real. Like, I've been in situations, and it sound cocky. I know it do. It sound real arrogant. But if that's the
way you're taking that, that just means that you're not actually doing that for your own life.
Thank you. I was going to say it a little more cut and dry than that. I was going to take the water off of it. If you feel that this conversation is me being arrogant, then you ain't taking care of yourself enough, and you one of the people that I'm talking about, one of the leeches that come around whenever you need something. So, like, a person who trying to grow,
they're going to take that under themselves and assess where they need to be.
They understand. They listening to this conversation like, yeah, you right, bro. Yeah. You right, sis. You got it. Yep. I know exactly what you're talking about. I feel that. Like, yeah, I feel that about my circle too. Like, ain't nobody is hurt when they doing the right thing. The only people who hurt right now listening to that statement is people who guilty.
Yeah.
Like, for real. And I say this because I say that because, like, yo, I've been through this recently. We know a person right now who, like, we talk like we family. Like, literally, like, we talk like we family. Alyssa loved this person to death. And I don't blame her, because she get to see one side that, you know, that she get to see one single side, and I get to see all sides. So, like,
you see all sides of me and you still love me. It's fine.
Fair. So we deal with this person only at work, but we talk a real good game about, you know, being friends. The L word has been thrown out. I ain't never said it because I ain't there. And the reason I ain't there,
I have the power like that.
And the reason I ain't there is because I know how this is gonna end. I've seen this story before. I played this game already. I beat it all the way to the end, and I promise you, for those game nerds out there, this one right here do not have any replay value. So I'm just saying, I'm just being real. You know, this person has some goals. They're going through some financial stuff. They're going through some mental stuff, some challenges, single parent, all this other stuff like that. Blase, split. The same story you've heard multiple times from multiple different people, right? And you know, that's not to take anything away from the struggle that she has as an individual. I get it. But what goes on in this situation, I feel like, me personally, I feel like this person is only like we can only be support to each other when we at work. Like outside of that, like, you know, and she's done stuff for us, but like I don't know, based off of what I see in the relationship, I don't know why that stuff even took place in the first place. Like I'm a little confused as to why it even happened. So, but that's not even this situation. But this is somebody that I've tried to speak up, like on a sense of, you got goals, you got good ideas, you need to make these happen. But for whatever reason, we get on this conversation about what goes on at work, and it kind of seems like I got to do everything and anything and everything to make this person satisfied about our ability to do our job at work, but nothing else really matters. So like in hindsight, what I'm trying to say is if it seems like if I don't do a good job at work, this person who claims to love us, who claims to adore us, and wants to be in our circle, it feels like if I don't do a good job at work, then the relationship is done. The relationship is gone. And it's been on multiple occasions where if I don't do a good job at work, she ain't talking to me. So like when you see stuff like this happening on a regular basis, it's like, why would I be upset about outgrowing people? And outgrowing people sounds real bad. Yeah. Like it does not sound good. Like it sounds arrogant. It sounds like you conceited. It sounds like you think you untouchable, or you feel some type of way about yourself. Like just cut all that. Like for real. If I know for a fact that I'm destined for greater things, I'm not about to apologize for feeling that way. Like if we working a job together and you can take this how you want it, like even in your own life, you working a job with somebody, like chances are the person that you're working next to, the person that you're talking to, like I even seen people who work together call each other outside of work all the time, every day, what days off, spending time with each other. The moment they move to a different job, hell, even different departments at the same job, they lose touch. Yeah. Why do you think that is? Because y'all relationship ain't built on nothing. Yeah. I knew I was talking too much.
It's built by similar circumstances, and that was it.
Yeah. You were a constituent. That's what you are. You're not a friend with this person. You're a constituent. So, man, I don't know if we can necessarily beat that horse anymore, because like I'm pretty sure we've already talked about on multiple occasions to make sure that your circle is legit, and I don't feel like we in a legit circle. I feel like we in a square. There's only two other people in the square besides us. Like it's just literally just us, and it just seems like no matter what we do to try to bring people in, it just doesn't work. So yeah, and. That's new. Did the tree flicker too?
No, it's just this.
Just that? Okay.
Did our power go out?
I think the power flickered. Anyway. That
was weird. It was as soon as that card passed by.
What kind of car was it?
It was a van.
Like a regular van?
Yeah, like a minivan.
Anyway.
That was strange. Okay.
Yeah, it was strange.
Square.
Yeah, it kind of just feels like no matter what we do, we can't get people involved into what we got going on. It's like we are the only people at the top of our game. And this kind of goes back into like the environment thing that we always talk about. Like we are in an environment of just ourselves. Like we're not necessarily involved with people who are about life in general. Like they not about life. They about surviving. Yeah. They're not about thriving. They're about surviving. Mm-hmm. So like once you come to a point where you understand that, then you can move forward.
Yeah. I think that's a good wrapping point.
That's it. 59 minutes. Yep. All right, folks. Man, it's been a year, man.
Yeah.
It's been a long year. There's been some times where I've doubted some of the things that I was doing. I've made a few realizations that I wasn't too happy about in my life. Made some changes in some areas that I didn't know I needed changed in. So, you know, especially as it pertains to I'm on my way to fatherhood, y'all. So like, yeah, I gotta bear with me. Things are gonna look a lot different for me than it is for most people. Like, and I ain't not like your typical father either. And I can say that because we just had this conversation about you know, being different. And yeah. I can embrace being different, and I don't mind being different, especially knowing that being different is going to take me to the next level, take my family to where we're supposed to be at, and stop allowing the thought of us doing what we want to do in our lives, us having the lifestyle that we want in the long run. I ain't gonna let nobody tell me that that's a pipe dream no more. I'm done with it. I'm finished. Like, for real. Like, yo, like, I don't even want a big lifestyle. Like, our dream house was literally the biggest thing that I said I wanted. I don't want to be famous. I don't want to be I don't want to be well known by everybody. Like, I mean, I obviously want the eighth of universe to be known by everybody. I don't want to be like in the public eye doing a whole bunch. Like, I ain't really about all that. Like, if you know who I am, then I feel like, yo, that's fine and dandy. But I ain't about to be on no TV like flaunting stuff and doing all that other stuff. I ain't about to be on VH1 looking crazy in the face. Like, I ain't about to do all that.
Please don't.
But I just want a lifestyle where I don't have to worry about nothing.
Yeah.
And I feel like the people around me, they got a lifestyle where they worry about stuff and they want that. Like, they settle for that. Like, that's all they really care for. And I ain't really feeling it. So I can't apologize for wanting more out of life. I can't do it. I ain't got it. I ain't got that in me. Like, don't ask me to. So I implore you guys, and like, we ain't gotta talk about no New Year's resolution. Don't care about that. So you can quit on them about February anyway. Like, for real. Like,
if not January 3rd.
Real talk, we know people who quit on their New Year's resolutions by January 3rd. You know,
everyone quits the gym on like the second day.
You know what I'm saying? Everybody starts smoking again by the 15th. So like, for real, like, keep it in your mind that growth is inevitable. The only thing that is inevitable in life is growth and death. Literally. Like, if you don't grow your mind, you'll grow your body. And eventually you're going to die.
Yep.
It's inevitable. So the thing that we are here to talk about, the thing that I'm going to leave you guys with, is that in your life, how are you going to handle that growth when it happens? Are you going to grow your mind or are you going to grow your body? Because either way, at the end, you're going to die.
Yeah.
But only one of those things, you'll be able to leave something behind for the generation that comes after you. So if you grow your mind, you can leave a good mind, a sound mind behind with the generation that comes after you. If you grow your body,
you're just going to leave the future generations behind.
There's nothing
faster.
That comes with that. In fact, you know, you grow your body too much.
You're the exception.
You grow your body too much, then, you know, you could potentially make things complicated for everybody and more than one way. So keep that in mind, folks. That's all we got for this episode. You got anything else to add to that?
Nope.
I'd have held up the time long enough. My throat is hurting right now, so and I got stuff.
And I gotta pee again.
You got to pee again. All right.
Sorry, guys. She's right on my bladder.
All right. So, with that being said, I think I forgot to put this out there like this early on in the podcast, but 80% of people who watch these podcast episodes don't hit the like or subscribe button, and I promise you guys that hitting those buttons, sharing these episodes does a lot more to help this channel out than you think. So if you don't mind doing us a favor, go ahead and trample all over the like and subscribe button and hit that bell, because we post videos and audio every single week, so you can get motivated to the place that's going to take the motivation right out of you. That is your job. Ladies and gentlemen, I am AJ McMullen. This is my lovely wife, Alyssa Macram. And the elephant,
Chloe.
And the elephant has came, the elephant has gone. Welcome to 2024. And always remember that those who fail to address the elephant in the room are doomed to be crushed by the weight of it. See you guys on the next one.
Bye.